So this time I'm doing things way differently, and you're gonna see why. We actually already recorded the session that didn't go as all the other interviews. It was an actual live clearing experience of what having an energy session with Teresa is. And I'm leaving it raw, uncut, full blown out, but then we're recording this now so we could actually use it as the intro. Not gonna go through her bio. You are definitely gonna see everything that this woman is about and the why you need to reach out to her. But I also want her to talk to us. Teresa, first of all, thank you for joining me today. It has been a freaking pleasure to the point of, everything.
Shh, don't give any secrets away. They'll have to
Right.
watch the episode.
Well, let them listen to see all the experience literally I had. But I did want to ask you, scientific mystic, talk to us a little bit about that.
So that is where I can blend in the science, which is the quantum, the biofield, the hypnotherapy into this beautiful mystical world where we start bringing in the psychic, the energetics, the vibration, the past lives. So it's a combination of ancient modalities with a little bit of the science. So it helps our logical brain go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. That really does make sense. And as we start to lean into it, not only logically, we also start to feel the energetics of it. And that's where the dynamic change really starts. And thank you, Angelica, for being so available and open and raw and real on this interview. It honestly takes a brave soul to show the behind the scenes. And I think it's amazing that you're able to do it.
Well, thank you. And I can't be more raw and original than the things that came out of my mouth during this call. So,
Hey, wait, we just began. We've just begun our adventure together. We shall see.
I know. I absolutely love this. Where can people reach out to you? I might as well just go ahead and I know we talked about it way at the end, but I just want people to connect with you now. So where can they reach out to you again?
So blended-spirit.com.
Okay.
So blended-spirit.com. And it's the blending of the spirits that we bring together to help you live your potential this life, expand, ignite, and really turn that trauma into training. See how you can use it to create the impact you meant to do.
Yeah, and I want everybody to notice that even though we talked about like quote unquote heavy things, there was nothing heavy about this call. And that's also one of the things that I want to bring out of working with you, talking with you, doing all these things, working with anybody. I mean, it doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't have to be this very serious and scientific way to look at things. In such a cool, fun way, we were able to have so many like ahas, one right after the other. Love it. We'll just let this be
Yay!
the rest of it, but
Yeah, not just science does that though. Spirituality does that. They put a lot of seriousness in it. And that's amazing. And if that's your style, I think it's incredible. But having this lightness and this support and this bringing in the light into the shadows is the really big shifts. Yeah, I love it. Goosies.
yeah, here I go again. Okay.
Yay!
So everybody enjoy the show and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
This part out later.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, let me just tell her.
Sure.
Recording now. Um, okay, what was it? 45 is a what year?
44 is a master year. So you just came through your master year. So it's interesting that on your birthday kind of end of it, they helped you master all these kind of things. Master of BU. Yeah.
Nice. I
Any
didn't know.
double digits. So your 22s, your 33s, your 44s, your 11s, those are all your master years. Yeah.
I
And
had no.
four is about foundations. And my throat's going. So it's about speaking your truth.
Yep,
Yeah,
definitely.
good for you. Amazing. Amazing.
Definitely.
So what do you want to
Definitely.
talk about today? Now you've been kind of around the world and you've got all this new experiences. I know we set something up, but I'm open. I'm open to see what unravels. What do you want to talk about?
Oh God. Okay. How about we just start with what we decided on and see what flows out?
Okay, cool.
Because so we're gonna talk about like how energy is totally different from emotion and mindset, but we can bring
Yeah.
in like so many different aspects to that because yeah, we can just twist it into already knowing like all this conversation. Because I'm thinking
Perfect.
even with what we're talking about, my energy is different, my emotions are different, and my mindset is for sure different.
Right. So, but you can also see that they're different. So
Mm-hmm.
now that they've all changed, you can actually
Mm-hmm.
see there is a difference in them. Right. So
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things when we haven't actually developed them quite yet, they're kind of lumped all in together and it's a big mushy mess. But
Mm-hmm.
as you start to advance, you can see the different aspects are developing. So
Yeah.
it's your energy, it's also your spirit, right? You found some more spirit,
Mm-hmm.
that connection to soul. And
Mm-hmm.
we talked about the amazing effects of it in your physical form. Once you start upliving and all these different things, you start to look younger, you start to lose weight, you start to glow, you start to be more radiant. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's kind of neat how they all go together.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's just see where it goes and flow from there and yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
there you go.
You know what? We're going to start recording because I think this is going to be one of those conversations that goes everywhere because now I have a
Okay,
question about scientific mystic.
yeah, so you were recording already. Are we
Yeah, but
re-recording? Okay, let me grab water before you start recording.
yeah, no, I'll introduce you through your bio, so I'll let you know when I actually officially start.
Okay. And thank you for being authentic, by the way.
Can I ask you in what sense?
I'm interviewed by a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
That sounds a little ego driven, but
It is what
it's
it is.
truth. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I've probably done about 100. Most of them don't actually live what they preach. So
Okay.
I'll ask what's
Oh,
going
I just
on.
love that. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I
So
just love
I
that.
really appreciate that you're very authentic. So they'll have some great show about energy, but prior to that, they have no clue actually what they're talking about. So
Mm-hmm.
the fact you're actually living it is gorgeous. You're saying things like talking to mountains and elements, and I totally relate to all of that. Can I also drop something? And it's up to you what your truth is, because mountain energy and Gaia energy are actually very different. So you didn't actually connect to the earth yet.
Okay.
But mountain energy is gorgeous. It is a more like a Gaiam. So we have Gaia, Mother Earth, and we have
Mm-hmm.
Gaiam, which is the mountain. So
Mm.
there are actually two
Okay.
separate things, and I've talked to both. And Gaiam is a lost energy. So the fact that you connected to him, that's very cool. He's very 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 old. So most people don't even know there's a difference.
Okay, I think we just found the shift that we're gonna do in the because now I'm officially curious about that. You know what? We're gonna start recording.
Okay,
You're
we're
gonna see
just gonna
how
talk about cool
authentic
shit, right? That's it. We
it
just have cool
is.
stuff to talk about.
It is, and the thing you're gonna see
Okay,
how
okay,
authentic I am. That I'm literally gonna be like, tell me more
okay,
because
cool.
right, these are the things that I love having conversations about, and I learning from each other because I had never heard of that. So. This is how it's gonna This is how it usually rolls. I have no idea what's gonna happen with you. So I'm gonna introduce everybody to the call. I shortened your bio so that I can read it. I am literally
Okay.
gonna say with you today we're gonna talk about one topic, but we just decided to flip to the other. So bear with us. Blah blah blah. How good are you on time?
Oh, I'm good. I have housekeepers coming at 10.
Okay.
So 40 minutes.
Okay. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I'm trying to keep them
But
30 minutes.
I
Uh,
can just tell them to go in our upstairs. Hold on.
okay.
Let me just, and honestly, love them to pieces. They're usually late.
The goal
Uh,
is 10 o'clock.
so I will keep the downstairs locked. So we will just keep going.
Okay. Um, because ironically and funny enough, you're my only call today. I mean,
Perfect.
I actually have my space blocked out for me to work on my rebranding, what the hell am I gonna say story. And then it was funny because before you texted me,
Yeah.
but if we were on, I was literally like trying to do like the graphic and I was just thinking, why am I trying to complicate this and market it? I'm just gonna say Angie is now Angelica Del Carmen. Like make a story out of it, out of the blue, whatever I type, y ya. Like, why am I making such a big planning and not lose people on the way? Fuck it. If I lose them, I lose them. Like, I don't
Yeah. Yeah.
care.
Just one sec. Tell me, Ver. I'm going to be on an interview a little bit longer. Can I set the girls upstairs to start? Can you get them to start in the hallway? Thank you. Oh, and if tell them my big thing I want done today is the outdoor patio if they're up to it. Thank you. Love you.
Is that a phoenix behind you?
It is two of
Nice.
them.
Yeah, I had seen the one at the top, but the other one I was like, oh,
Yeah, this is my studio. So I have this is like where I like to create. This is
okay.
all of my cards because I am
Oh,
obsessed.
me too. Okay.
And this is my you can see the resin that I make. Beyond
Oh,
that
okay.
is my workshop space. And then behind the white curtain is where I do healings.
And I'm taking it you're in the basement.
Yeah, so just I took over the bottom.
That is so cool. I'm here like
Yeah.
happily jealous for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I started with one room and then
Right,
expanded to two. And I was
right.
like, oh, I need more space. So,
No,
and if
that's
you build
super
it,
cool.
they will come.
Yep. Yep. For now, I love what I'm living, which is like traveling and here and there, but I don't have my Oracle cards. Like when you just showed me yours, I'm like, oh, Mala in a storage. But I'm playing with my sister,
Yeah.
so anyways,
You can get really cute little purse decks off Temu that are just little ones, and those are nice to carry around.
you know what
So
I
you
did?
don't.
I designed my own.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I've done a couple decks too. I love
Yeah.
it.
I
When you
designed
do
my
your own
own.
energy, it's insane.
Yeah, it really is.
Where did you get it printed?
No, that's what I was gonna say. I literally designed them and printed them out of color printer and I cut them up and they're pieces of paper, just a piece of paper. And I
Oh,
have a little, it's somewhere. I have a little plastic thing like where you keep makeup. It's a
yeah.
little, so I have all my cards there, but it's just like mine. Like they're in Spanglish, they're in everything. It's
You
just
should have them printed. So I did these. These are mine. Well, one of mine. I've got three decks.
okay.
So I just had them done like card size. So like playing card size.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to do the big ones.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I just because boxes are expensive, I just did like a little
Yeah.
big,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So
Where did
it's
you print yours online?
yeah, just I went to a playing card place. There's better places to do, but I haven't discovered it yet.
Okay.
Not where you can't have to like spend too much money.
Yeah.
Eventually we'll do it, but like you, I just kind of wanted them for me.
Mm-hmm.
They're spot on, and I printed about 30 when I did them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but kind of trippy. One of them is actually a picture of me. So when my clients get them, if they get a card that's me, they always call me for a session. So
Oh, cute. Okay.
it's kind of yeah, it's kind of thing.
That's
Yeah. So
cute.
there's probably not the easiest way to do it. That's why I keep asking people. But
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of nice. So it's still they kind of last a little bit more. But if yours are
Mm-hmm.
working for you, that's perfect.
Yeah, because it's lightweight. I mean, it's not the perfect quality, but they're good enough. And it
Yeah,
just has, so I'm a designer and I started playing with Midjourney.
nice.
And they're, it started off with a cute little monster kiddish animal. And then they just morphed into little dragons and lions, but they're all cracking up. They are all laughing and cracking up. So it was more of a, even when I see them, I don't even have to read whatever message I put on it afterwards. It's just seeing the drawing, just I giggle because they're just infused with like this happiness.
I could also maybe encourage you that the actually doing them pro is an expansion.
Doing the what?
Them pro, like if you did them pro, not just for you, that might be part of your Angelica expansion. Might be more of like letting the world see you. Maybe.
I don't know. We're already recording. I don't know how this is gonna go, but yeah. The
Check that in there because that might be one of those like being able to be seen things, right? Like it might be next level. Like it's okay. You can even share your personal deck.
Okay, help me figure this out then, because I think that that's where I'm not fighting it. I'm literally like, yeah, that's a good idea. But here's my train of thought. Obviously, you know me as spirituality talk show because of the talk show. Um, a few years ago, I started Creatrix Badass, and that was my coaching. I have since not really done Creatrix Badass, and then lately, what I was thinking was, what if I make Creatrix Badass a publishing, Oracle Publishing, and publish them, and whatever. But then yesterday morning, I think it was, I was meditating and I was channeling, and they literally told me because I bought the angelicadelcarmen.com. So they're like a shaman, call everybody in all aspects and all your things into one and put everything on angelica.com. And I was like, I can see the other things, but my idea was like, well, if I just to create X Badass as a publishing, okay, whatever. Your intuition. Should I just not do it as Create X Badass Publishing, or should I just publish it under my Angelica name?
I honestly think it's something different.
It is, right?
Yeah. So I don't think it's actually either of those.
Okay.
But because you just said the way you said Angelica, it's going to be hard for people to find because you didn't actually say Angelica, you said Angelica,
Mm-hmm.
which if people know you, that's cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be a little bit trickier. So if we're
Mm-hmm.
talking like legit energetics branding, you probably need a little bit of a combination of the two.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll keep playing with that and I'll think about it because like everything else, I am gonna do it under my name and I can totally see how I can relate it. But then with the creatrix, people were also having a hard time with the creatrix. But then again, it's
That's might
probably
be an old energy though, because Creatrix now is coming up,
okay.
right? So you have to think about how much we've evolved since then. When I first started doing Reiki in 2011,
Mm-hmm.
nobody had any freaking idea. Now
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh yeah, my aunt does it, my cousin does that, my sister's a master teacher. She took a weekend
Mm-hmm.
at it, right? Like it's all over the place. So
I
we're
almost spit out my coffee.
yeah, so sorry.
Sorry if I would have spit it out. I didn't spit it out.
Yeah, so Creatrix, okay, it also doesn't roll off your tongue, so you need something a little more sweet. Um, maybe it's just Del Carmen. Del Carmen Publishing? Del Carmen Industries? No, I don't like
New Bliss
industries.
Media. Ah,
New Bliss. There you go. I like that.
okay. I've had that for years, and my little antennas. It's funny because when I connect to something, I'm like, oh, my little antennas are twitching. Like
Yeah.
I get the okay.
Hmm.
I don't think I
New
don't.
Bliss Media is fabulous because it actually lists the talk show, the publishings, the coaching. You could do like you could be like a promotional director. So one of my programs I'm working on is called Pod to Paid. So it's all these women that have these podcasts that are actually not getting any
Mm-hmm.
conversion,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's amazing. You're out here, you're promoting me. I love that you're promoting me,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not setting the attention prior to going on who who are you impacting? So
Mm-hmm.
not just about promoting me, we want you promoting you, right? Like what are you doing that you can now help the people besides just letting other people be seen through you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you're so much more than a medium.
Mm-hmm.
Medium media. Ooh, medium media. So there's a so mediumship, yes, you channel. You could use that mediumship to do media. Mediumship media. Ooh, I think that's a whole energy.
I
So
love
remember,
you are so okay. Okay.
yeah, tell me, I love compliments.
I, I it's I feel it, but the words aren't formulating in my head. Hold on.
Okay.
Um, Teresa as well. Okay. A whole bunch of shit's gonna come out right now. So I'm having very lucid, clear dreams that I am understanding. I've always had dreams, but lately it's like I'm asking, I'm requesting, and I'm getting it at night, and I get the answer either during the dream or when I write down the next morning. Last night, I didn't put a particular request on purpose. I literally said, whatever I need to know or whatever it is, like, John, you tell me, but just make sure I understand it. And I was telling her this morning, I'm like, I don't think that shit worked because I don't remember the dream. I woke up tired. It was chaotic. There was like people in it. Nothing made sense. What just made sense is that the one person I remember in the dream, which I don't even remember the dream, but the one person I remember is a very old friend that I have named Teresa.
Ah, fabulous.
And now this morning, I see where this is going. I'm going to keep the Angelica Del Carmen for the other reasons, but I see where this is going, what you just felt. And I agree that mediumship media or the new bliss media was,
So mediumship, New Bliss Media is your title for sure. Mediumship Media is the channel that you can do, right? It's the modality. Let's call it modality. It's the modality. And honestly, I think we just birthed this in.
mm-hmm.
I think it's a pure channel coming through. I've never heard of it before. So this is definitely straight from spirit. It makes me cry. So it's really powerful.
Okay,
Anything
but
that's
tell me
like,
more because I have several things in my head. I'm trying to figure out if it's that.
okay, so let's okay, can we back it up for 2 seconds? Because like the whole purpose of this conversation was the difference between mental, emotional, and energy.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it was coming down so fast for you, that's the energetics, right? When you can't
Okay.
find the words, when you don't really quite know the feeling, when it's like it's in the ether, it's like you need a minute because it's in an image, not a thought process. That's energetics. So that's like a really solid example of what it looks like.
Okay.
Now, these other pieces that are coming in, this is definitely more spirit channeled, I think. And the energy of that is the guides coming through. So everything carries its own energetics, right? Everything. So a rose has an energetic, this cup has an energetic, your lipstick has an energetic. Everything, everything carries its own energetics. We just tapped in to a creation station. It's called the creation station. And in that, this mediumship media is a new breadcrumb. So what you're doing with it now is your spirit using your Rolodex to expand this breadcrumb. Does that make sense?
Ish.
Ish. Okay. So every guide or all your guides will use your memories, your Rolodex, your wording, what he
Okay.
means to you,
Okay.
right? As a channel, I can give you the breadcrumb, but then they'll put your soul blueprint on it. So this is how it should look for you. Because this is not mine. I'm channeling for you,
Mm-hmm.
right? This isn't something I should do for me. This is something that you should do for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just give you the energetics of it. And then as you build it, it becomes your soul blueprint or
Okay.
part of your soul blueprint.
Okay.
Does that make sense? That's a
Yeah.
lot of like kind of
Yeah.
big energetic talks, but that's
Yeah.
okay. We'll keep tracking it out.
Yeah. No, and like you said, it's the energy of it because I can feel the energy of what you're saying, although I can't find words logically. Like my mind is just like, what? But I feel it. Like I get it. Okay.
Okay, cool. So now those downloads that you were getting, because those are beautiful downloads coming from Spirit, because we fell into an amazing kind of like super connection today. What just break those out, right? So you can just write those down and you can share them if you want or not, because we're recording it, but it's very personal to be honest. Um, and then we can always expand it.
I have no idea how the beginning of this whole thing is going to be, but if people are still watching, they're still watching. I'm just going to go with it. I think I'll just pre-record an intro later on for the people here. This is Teresa Collins joining us
Yeah.
today. Um, okay, so this morning, oh my God, I'm like getting like a whole
Yeah,
bunch of
keep
things.
writing it down. Honestly, fuck it, hun. If we do an interview after, that's fine. Let's keep writing it down because this is really cool. This is
Yeah,
just like,
no. See, I got hot and everything. I'm like about to like strip my shirt. Like it's super hot in here. Okay, and it's cold.
okay.
Yeah, weird.
So
Okay.
it's like, is this thing? I'm totally right. So we feel that vibe. So that's a good piece for energetics too, right? You usually feel like a temperature change. You could get goosebumps. You were talking earlier about your like antenna
My little
tinglings, right?
antennas. Yeah.
So that's all this kind of really super cool energetic stuff happening.
Okay, so I'm gonna back up, but not so much because I think we're at a different point right now. We started talking about the Oracle cards and like that idea of like publishing, which I've always loved because I'm a graphic designer and the whole thing. So that, whatever. But what I'm looking at now, especially with that mediumship media, and when you said a channel, this morning, that's why I keep going back to it. This morning I was thinking, or telling her, I don't even remember. The idea came up of something that I've always wanted to do. I am traveling. One of the reasons that I have envisioned myself traveling is to go do documentaries and go
Fabulous.
to spiritual places and go to the shamans of all over the world and start bringing all this information at a much higher level than just the interviews on the talk show. So when we're
Oh
talking
my
about,
God, I adore this idea. So, can I just drop what they were showing me?
yeah,
Almost like ghost hunters,
okay, yeah,
but like spirit talkers.
uh-huh.
Let's talk that kind of idea, right? So we're in Egypt at we're the at the Mayan pyramids, and I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that, but I'm also feeling kind of touristy, and I'm also, that kind of
Oh,
like breaking it
okay.
down.
Yes. So in the Enchanted Forest, that day, that morning, we went to a beautiful, it was absolutely stunning, glass church that they did.
Yep.
And while I was there, I had it's always a speaking your truth and showing up in visibility and doing something different, right? So it's like I know I've embodied this new essence, but my mind was still trying to keep me on the thing. So while I was sitting there, when we walked in, old little guy was like, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer, blah, blah, blah. And as I'm sitting there, something told me, go interview him live and start getting used to it. But
Nice.
I didn't do it. I chickened out.
Oh,
I
that's
literally
okay.
chickened out. No,
That's okay.
right. And I chickened out. And I was like, when we left, I told my sister, she's like, he would have totally done it. And I was like, I got in my own head and I got that. And I'm feeling guilt, but it wasn't guilt. It was more of this is the lesson. Like, do this because now you learned, do it, practice it. So then we went to the Enchanted Forest.
Can I interrupt before you go too far?
Yeah.
They're showing you that it feels crappier to not do it
Yes.
than the fear. So
Yes.
it's like the
It's
the
not
impact
guilt.
is more
It's
important
that.
than the fear.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh. It
for
was
sure.
the fuck, I could have done it and I didn't do it. Yeah. It
Yeah.
was the I don't want to say that's the thing. It's like I know the feeling, but I can't get the words. It
Yeah.
wasn't a missed opportunity because I know that it happened for a reason. That's why I said lesson. It was more like for them to show me what you just said. It was like you could have
Put your
done it,
bigger
but it's
panties on. You can
okay.
do it.
Right. So I told my sister we had already left and
Hmm.
she's super cool. She's like, we can go back. And I was like, no, Ja, like whatever. It's gonna fuck me up even more in my head. Like, no, but I got it. So she's like,
Okay.
okay, fine. So we went, whatever. End of that day is when we went to the Enchanted Forest. There, I had the same thought. Take out your phone and record, but record yourself talking and get used to it. And I did. And my intention was to publish those raw videos on Facebook and on YouTube and whatever, because the things that I was feeling and seeing in that moment are not anywhere near what a picture would show. And I got the phone and I did it and I practiced it. Have I posted them?
Okay.
No. The whole thing did not come out. But the lesson for me was doing it. And now
Coming
it's
out. I'm
no,
sorry.
no.
My throat's going off like crazy because the lesson wasn't for you to do it. Your lesson for you is to do it. Like you did it, but you got to share it now, right? You
Yeah.
can't just let say, oh, that was my lesson and tuck it in a corner.
Okay.
The lesson now is still in the progress. How about that? Lesson is
Okay.
still in progress. So
Okay.
allow your
I
beautiful
like
little
that.
ego to sit to the side
Okay.
and be brave and post it. And without worrying about the results, because the point is the
Right.
posting. And it's funny. There goes my throat again. So my husband and I were playing with this idea. We have voice recorders, right? But what if we had it like attached to a microphone where you could actually interview people, right? Because then people, first of all, it would give it a different vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the news crew idea. And there's almost like a power in it for you. Does that make sense? So it's very
Yeah.
similar to how you're like interviewing me here. It
Yeah.
would just be like a transfer. So I think it would be an easy shift to your ego. right?
Okay.
If you're like, basically, you're going to do an interview on the spot. It's an on
Yeah.
location interview. It's an on
Right.
location Zoom.
Right. Right.
So then you don't have to get too up in your head about it. You're already doing it. We're doing it right now. You're just transferring the energy to in person.
And the truth is, I have these conversations with people randomly when I meet them.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think that's where that mediumship media, and I do love the name, mediumship media, because I love New Bliss Media. But again, I did a release. That's why I think the idea was there, but I released it because I've been with that name for like 18 years. And like all the things to it, like it has that energy. And I did a release, when was it? The lunar eclipse, full new moon, whatever that happened like 2 weeks ago. I released all my other projects and all my things and all those things that I was stuck on of like I would remember when I had this company and it bankrupt and I remember when I had this and like I let go of all that energy and I thanked it for it being in my life and start anew. So I think the New Bliss Media name won't go with it, but it's the idea because when I came up with that idea, it was media.
Mm-hmm.
It was media. And I wanted the New Bliss because it was a new energy. What year was that? That was like 2011, 2008.
Yeah, so the mediumship media, it doesn't have to be the name, it's the way you're doing it. So mediumship is the go-between. The word mediumship actually is a go-between. So when people ask me if I'm a medium, I'm 100% a medium, but it doesn't mean I talk to dead people. I am the translator between here and your celestials, between here and your guide. I'm the translator between um, here and your higher self or your soul, or depending on what aspects of my modalities I'm doing. I am the transmitter that helps you understand what's happening behind the scenes. So that kind of mediumship with understanding what's happening behind the scenes in these locations is what they're saying. And then the media part is sharing it in a public way.
But it doesn't mean I can't use the thing as the name.
Yeah, you can use it as a name for sure.
Right.
Absolutely, 100%.
Right.
But it's also the aspect of it. So it's the
Right.
deeper meaning of it,
Right.
right?
Like the
Like
purpose
it's
of it.
so, yeah. So it's not like you're not going to Stonehenge. You're channeling an experience that you can share with people. So it's more of the dimensional feeling of these locations. Ooh, yeah. Oh, that feels really yummy.
Channel the experience of the what?
Of the dimensional feeling of these locations.
And that's exactly what I was trying to do in the videos.
I
Like
love
that
it.
was the purpose. Yeah, that was because I literally I'm trying different software. So I'm trying the CapCut video editing thing for the first
Yeah,
time. And I grabbed one of those videos. And that's exactly when I grabbed the phone and I started saying, I wanted to film this because what I'm experiencing right now, then I can't put into words later. Like that was literally it. The experience of what I was feeling in that place,
yeah,
which I was all over the place, by the way.
yeah.
It gets
No,
the
but
point that it,
that makes perfect sense. Your soul's already telling you were following your soul. And like I said before, that I just help your soul bring your blueprint to the surface, right? So this is totally 100% already in your blueprint. You were just playing with the edges of it. We're getting
yeah,
clarity here.
thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. This is fun.
This is like so totally, I don't want to say coming together, but I'm understanding it in feels.
So really what we're doing, to be honest, right now, this is what my sessions look like. So we're doing basically a live session for everyone.
Okay.
And I think what we're experiencing is we're showing people how you can follow spirit, how you can start taking these pieces of the puzzle, start making bigger pictures of them.
Hmm.
Um, we're explaining the ascension process, right?
Hmm.
Like it's not like all of a sudden you get a 2-page story. You get an image here, a feeling there, a vibe here, an action here, a reminder, do this.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, because that this is what basically I'm doing a session with you. This is what it looks like. So we tap into your energetics, we tap into your blueprint, we see how you can easily fall in alignment so that you can start impacting and imprinting the way you're meant to, right?
And
Like,
I think that's the important part. Like I try to write down word by word, but you were going really fast. But I love when you said that it's the go-between and you're the translator between here and your spirit guides or your blueprint, and it's what you're saying. You're literally helping. And I totally love that you said that this is what you do with people because I totally encourage it. Because yeah, I was thinking I had a dream with somebody called Teresa like last night. I talked about these things with my sister. I recorded that video 3 weeks ago. And it's like you're helping me translate all the things I didn't connect. And I think that's like, I'm like yelling here. I think that's like the most
works.
beautiful part to what you're doing. Yeah. I'm like, why am I talking so loud?
Yeah.
That's the part that, okay, again, I love that we're doing this session. It ended up being, instead of an interview, the live thing, because it's a matter of being able to, yes, do the energetics and and it doesn't mean that we can't do it for ourselves, but sometimes we can't. It's
But
like
why do we keep
always,
trying to do it for ourselves?
exactly. We always
I
think
see at
we have
least
to
three
do it.
healers,
Uh-huh.
right? And it's this idea that we have to do it by ourselves. This is honestly the bullshit story because it doesn't make you weak because you ask for help. It makes you smart. It makes you strong. It makes you realize because the whole point in the story, and everybody wants to co-create with the universe, it starts co-creating with those that you can trust.
With each other. Hmm.
Yeah, right. It starts, and I'm talking about the women that build you. I'm not talking about the ones that are jealous or are just sitting there waiting for their turn to speak.
Hmm.
I'm talking about the women like you and I who came to the table with absolutely no agenda.
Totally
We had some
different
kind of weird
topic.
structure, but it didn't actually align. But we are simply here in spirit to share our journey in an authentic way.
Hmm.
And then hopefully, whoever lands on this can be inspired by it and maybe has that courage to reach out and brainstorm in a spiritual way with somebody else,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because I can't see my blind spots. That's why they're called blind spots.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
No,
why I
and I
have
love that.
coaches.
Right, right. And I love that because it's like what I was saying. I was getting this piece and this piece, but yeah, it's coming together with somebody that you can be like, this is the rambling that's going on in my head or in my energetics. What the hell? And they can put it for you, and then you take that next step. And even thank you, and I'll oh wow, I feel like crying. I want to say from the bottom of my heart, this is not the interview we planned. This is the interview that I needed. Because
Yeah.
again, it's not me, it's for something bigger. And thank you because I literally think that you did just help me birth one of the things that I want to do because I'm meant to do it. I
Yay.
literally have always thought that would be amazing to do that. Do I love to travel? Of course I love to travel. Do I love having, of course, but it's more than just me. It's bringing the little old shaman taita from the little town in a freaking remote mountain in Colombia who has no interest on YouTube. We can get him and his perspective and my perspective of being there and bring all that work together for the rest of us who can't go visit and meet him in that little remote mountain in God knows where. And that's part of what I want to do. I want to bring and share as much of the things that I can, but at a different level.
It's so much bigger though.
Oh,
It's so much bigger though. Oh
oh,
my goodness. As you're talking, I was watching Unravel. Um, and I've worked with news people before. And part of what they do is they just hold space, they hold witness, right?
okay.
They also record. So part of what you're going to do is you're going to be able to record almost the unseen, the intangible,
Hmm.
right? That's kind of a big deal because once that beautiful shaman's gone, what'll be left?
Hmm.
You're going to be able to capture that energy
I
of
was, oh my
history.
God, I was just thinking that it's like it's a way to be able to capture their essence
Hmm.
and what they're sharing is gone when they're gone. I mean, it's their teachings, it's their essence, it's their what's that word? I can't remember. There's
Honestly, you're helping create their impact for their soul. Because if all souls right now are coming here to leave something, so I believe that all souls come to leave something, whether it's a good or a bad thing, it doesn't matter. They're coming here to impact in some way. You're going to help make that echo bigger, right? And again, I mean, we're in such an amazing time. They're not necessarily going to go on YouTube, but you can reach across. I don't even know where you are right now. Where do you live?
Digital live currently.
Currently, where's your current
I'm
location?
in Navarre, Florida.
Cool. I am in Vancouver, BC, actually, sorry, BC. But it doesn't matter where we are.
Exactly.
We didn't even talk about it because we're sitting here chatting like we're across the table from each other.
I know. It's like I just want to go give you tea. It's like, do you want tea? Do you want coffee? What do you
I
want?
know.
Let's have a snack.
But this possibility and being able to share this. So I'm the
Right.
igniter of the light workers. I want to spark. In that way, I can affect billions,
Hmm.
right? Without without barely lifting a finger.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. No, I'm so happy and like yay right now. Like it's such a bigger, yeah, you're right. It's such a bigger thing that my mind can compute right now. I think that's
Yeah,
what it
and
is.
so let's get you out of your mind because you've said this a couple times,
Yeah,
and to be honest, spirit doesn't make sense.
true.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things like I'm renting at a theater right now for a hypnosis event. And 3, 4, 5 months ago, they started having me say they were saying like your hypnosis is super important. I've been doing it for 8 years. But this is the year that I'm really, really highlighting. And it's because this subconscious programming, we're
Hmm.
85% in the subconscious.
Hmm.
And I need to help people uncover that. So
Hmm.
they've been dropping these little things to the point where I was like, came out of a channel and I was hypnotizing a whole bunch of people in recliners. And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. Where the hell am I going to get all those recliners?
Right.
And then they just kind of dropped in. It's a theater. I'm like, a theater? I'm renting a theater? Okay,
Uh-huh.
see how that feels. So I sat with that all day. I was like, okay, that's kind of really crazy, but and we were at dinner and I just blurted out. Everybody else is talking about everything else. I'm like, I could rent out a fucking theater. And everybody's looking at me going, what? But it percolated and they dropped it in. And so we went and we looked at the theater and I'm standing there and I'm looking up and it was the vision that spirit showed me. And it didn't make any logical sense, but God, it felt good.
Uh-huh.
It felt so good. I was divinely aligned with my soul blueprint in that moment. Like nothing has felt honestly so good.
Hmm.
And so I rented it, of course. And I'll fill it. I don't know, I'm already half full. But
Nice.
people are like, how many do you have coming? I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't actually matter. The point is that I'm following spirit and I'm renting it out.
That's
So
what I
whoever
need to
shows up
get
is
to.
perfect. Yeah.
And that's where I need to get to that I really feel and that my mind lets go of that it really doesn't matter. Because although I tried and I'm 100% honest, I tried and there's some things that I have let there's others that yeah, I munch on it and it's like fuck, how do I let this go? Like ugh.
Right.
Yeah.
I think keep bringing it up, right? So awareness is your first key. Like just being like aware that it is a
Okay.
program. And it's based a lot on the ages 1 to 9. Now some of it's past life stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot of it is something that occurred between 1 and 9. So it could be like a social restriction, it could be a family restriction. Maybe it's even a TV show you watched. Maybe it's a sense of, being too weird, not belonging, or I mean, we all have our
Mm-hmm.
amazing amount of histories, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every day we have 24 hours a day to be impacted by experiences. Um, 1 to 9, a lot of things happen to us. We're influenced by a lot of people.
Right.
We ate a
Right.
lot of things without deciding if it was for us or not. So a lot of the stuff sits in the programming. So bringing it up to the surface and saying, "Hey, wait, that's probably not even mine anymore, or maybe it was never mine to begin with."
Mm-hmm.
At some point it could have served you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could have been important. Now, now you're ready to expand. So it's okay to challenge that program.
I'm gonna quote you everywhere, by the way.
Oh,
Okay, to
okay.
challenge.
You can quote me if you want. Honey. I love that we're recording it because you're gonna go back and listen to it
I
again and go,
know.
"Oh, wow!"
It's like
It's like
I'm trying
yeah,
to write here as fast as I can, but I'm like, ah, screw it, whatever. But then I never
no,
get back to it.
Yeah, when
Um,
spirit opens the doors, it just floods through.
yeah,
Yeah, it's very good.
I'll work on it, but it's like what's coming to me, I don't know what it is exactly, but it's like safety.
Oh, it's safe to be you.
Safety. Yeah, I I can literally close my eyes and I see like a kind of like a neon sign that's just flashing safety.
I
Like
love
that's all
it.
you need to know. Safety.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Okay.
That's one of our core, right? So it's our root. We have to feel safe and secure in order to do anything. So that's a great foundation.
Yeah.
Um, there was something else that was popping up when you were talking about that. No, it's gone.
Okay. No, amazing. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
The most interesting interview ever yet on this talk show, but completely. And I think this is even the best way to actually have this show. In the sense of we're not just talking about something, they're literally seeing us co-create and throw it back and forth. It's like
Yeah.
and that's what we were going to talk about, like the energetics of things and the mind and the emotion and the whole thing. And it is interesting how they're related and yet we see them as one way and yet they're not and that they are and it's kind of like a Bing Bang version of everything.
Yeah, let's do like metaphors. Okay, so mindset would be say we're in the ocean. Mindset is gonna be the clownfish. Emotion is gonna be Dory. We'll go to the whole point of Nemo. Most people have watched the Nemo, Finding Nemo.
Mm-hmm.
The energetics is the ocean they live in.
Oh, cool. Okay. Okay,
So
cool.
does
Yep.
that give us like kind of a metaphor to
Yeah, because here I'll say what I understood. So the energetics is literally like the entire ocean. It's like everything. The energetics is like the feel. The mindset is like those programs that they're programmed to be clownfish. They are what they are. It's like that little group. And then within that group, it's the emotion, which is Dory with her, what was it, forgetfulness? And she was like, oh, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Like that emotion of like that personality going through. So yeah, I can totally see that.
Yeah. And it's all the different aspects that create the energetics, right? So it's
Hmm.
the all the different pieces of us that
Hmm.
come through that create the energies. A lot of these again are subconscious, right? We have our behind the scenes stuff, we have our victim, we have our martyr, we have our self-saboteur, we have our inner child, we have our wounded healer. Well, that's what I was going to talk about. The wounded healer is part of the reason why women are having a really hard time showing up is because most of us were healers in a past life and we were killed for our gifts. And when you were talking about the safety thing, that's what came up to me because you are safe in this life to expand your gifts. Oh, I can watch the downloads happening. It's like,
Okay, you know what? Again, okay. It's 11:59. Fuck it. I'm gonna go get a drink. I'm kind of like I want a shot of something. It is so okay. First of all, I'm not coming from ego to your ego. I'm literally soul to soul. You're fucking good.
oh, thanks, babe.
I have been second before I say that part. You talked to me before about using my voice, and we talked about being authentic. And I told you that I'm coming more into the who and what I was because of the background. Last 3 days, I've been researching which is wound healer, which is wound, or what, which is wound is what I've been.
Ah,
So now I'm literally gonna pick your brain because there is
okay.
no reason that you say this now. It escaped you and it came back.
Hmm.
I'm gonna put a flip to it because I keep looking at it and I understand what it is, but it's not what I'm referring to. I
Okay.
am literally referring to honest, which is wound. The reason I'm saying I'm gonna be authentic, that I'm saying I'm gonna be authentic is because I'm actually coming out in a bigger way. It's not that I haven't told people, but not like this publicly as much. So, as I mentioned to you before, I don't even know if we were recording or not. I grew up with a religion-based spirituality of Afro-Caribbean descent. What I saw, yeah, I know. It's because I'm literally saying it. And
It's
that's
okay.
the
I'm holding
whole
space for you. I'm holding all the
I
space for you.
know. And that's why
I
I
got
said
you.
thank you. Like I'm about
Yeah.
to cry because it's literally that's the wound I need to heal. Okay, going back to it. So just like with anything, people can use things for good or evil. Sadly, the people that we learned from that we were taken to, I was taken to things like that since I was like probably before I was born. I mean, in her stomach, I was probably already, probably no, I know I was. You know, I'm the youngest of four daughters. Um, and I know that this happened for many, many, many years. So I know that I saw things when I was younger and not just see them doing things. But I think I saw here comes the conversation, the energetics. And I think I saw way more. And in my mind, as a little girl, I wouldn't know the difference between reality world-wise and reality spirituality world that I was looking at the same time.
There's
So,
actually no difference.
right. And for the little girl, I was just seeing everything all at once. Now, whether I'm pretty sure I shut it down myself. Um, or I was blinded to not see more, or whatever the case is. Like I won't get into that because it has different aspects of some different things. But the point is nowadays, I'm making peace with it. I learned that there's nothing wrong with it. I don't talk to it about it with my family because my family is very Catholic. And to mention that I was taken to those places kind of starts like that's family story. And now I'm like, wound, my witch wound or whatever it's called, it's not so much, yeah, I was probably burned in a past life. I probably burned people in a past. I mean, I don't know. I know that that comes from there as well. But mine is from this lifetime, as in the label, and actually the episode before you, it comes out that we're talking about like the label, the witch's label. It has so much charge and it has so much like whatever negativity to it and like the word witch. For me in Spanish, you can be a medium, you can be a channeler, you can be a healer, you can be an energetic Reiki person. The word in Spanish is bruja, it's witch. I mean, what are you? Una bruja, una brujita, like whatever. In English, there's like so many labels and so many things, but the word witch and the word bruja is stained. Everybody thinks it's bad, it's with the devil. Did I see some dark shit? Yes. Was I followed by dark shit? Yes. Did it almost try to take the life of one of my sisters? Yes. Did I see him? Yes. Like I've seen all of that. And I'm just talking about 4 years ago, 3 years ago. But now I'm like, you know what? I choose to use the power and that knowledge to wake myself up because it's not that I'm giving it my power. It's I'm reigniting my power as who and what I am, which is a full spiritual force of nature, and stop being afraid of it. So I think my witch's wound is that I was more afraid of it and afraid of what others would say because they would relate to it like I used to. Does that make sense? Am I rambling?
Yeah, I love of it, all of it. So the energy that I see, and correct me or not, a couple things. First of all, seeing you seen the dark side. Lovely.
Right,
Remembering we do live in duality though. So if there can be
right,
dark, there can be light.
right, right.
So if we're thinking soul experience, so this is a karmic life. So we can do a lot of balance and karma here. So the fact that you have a witch wound that then continued in this life, to me, means it's a karmic balancing that's required.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, you're an elemental witch. Does that help?
I kind of figured, but I wasn't sure. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a white witch.
Okay, tell
There's
me
a
the difference. Tell me the
white
difference then.
witch. So I
Hmm.
work with pure light. So
Okay.
I can tap into the elementals. I can tap into the earth. I can tap into the wind, fire, water, air, all of
Because
that stuff. Not my favorite. My favorite way to work witch. And so witch is let's redefine witch. This is what I think we're talking about today. So there's a song. It's I can't remember who it's by, so I won't say anything. But she says witch means a woman in total control of herself.
hmm
And that to me, that's the aspect, right? So we're no longer giving our power away to anything. We're
hmm
coming back to our power. Yes, we experience those darkness. Amazing. Oh my God, isn't that incredible? Because you've seen the
hmm
power of possibility.
Right.
right? So, yes, we can walk in the shadows, but we can also walk in the light. And the more we talk about the shadows, the more we bring light to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay that that darkness exists. It's amazing. It's gorgeous. It's a power. It's just not my choice in this life. In this life, I'm white, I'm light, I'm bright, I am the ignition, I'm the gateway. I'm the one who helps people walk through the dark into the light, right? But in order to do that, I have to own my power. Being a woman in total control of herself. That's all it is. Whether she's a healer, she's a speaker, she's an author, she's in media, whoever she decides. And it's not just women, men can decide. Men can decide to step into their power, to step into their light, to step into their purpose. And honestly, light or dark, that's your choice. It doesn't matter what you're doing with it. The point is taking radical responsibility of yourself in this life. And yeah, this happened. Yeah, I experienced that. And what did I do from it? How do I want to change? How do I want to grow? I don't do spells. I am not a um, ceremonial girl because it reminds me too much of conformity of religion. They do too
Mm-hmm.
much. So I tap into the energies. I tap into the light. I tap into the power of the words. I tap into the intention. I tap into the energetics. And that's how I choose to enact my magic. To
Sorry,
go,
my antennas are going
I love
everywhere.
it. So
Okay.
knowing you have that choice, right? Like a pen can kill or create. You can kill or create with your magic.
I'm listening. I'm logically, yes, I'm agreeing 100%, but I have so much happening right now. I might as well say it. We're saying everything else. I think you just helped me release something, or I just released it because I felt like I just came.
Yeah, I love it.
Like
Well, you're welcome. Again, guys, this is what my sessions look like.
I mean, seriously, don't go for anything else, go for this. I'm
It's
sitting
the
there like
goddess power.
I
Yeah.
just felt it like I think I have to pee and I'm like, oh my God, it's like I'm coming, like, oh my God. That's one aspect of what was happening. As you're talking to me, and I do have a question, but as you were talking, something stood here somewhere, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Point is, okay, now I'm trying to find the words. It the purpose of okay, literally he just said, I did this and the intention for you to see all the dark and whatever, is because now that you saw all of it and you saw the power, now you know that you can flip it, which was something that you were talking about. But what I'm trying to say is he literally said, I played the role of dark and it was in your life for your highest good because now you get to be the total opposite of everything that you saw.
Yeah,
So it's
I
like
like
that
that.
balance that like I'm seeing like that thing when you like take a rubber band, then you put the tension to it and then you swing it and it goes farther.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm seeing. But it literally, I don't even know what it is, but it's like the consciousness of the whole thing came and was like, we played that role in your life for you to be able to see, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. I
It's
love
there
it. No, I love
somewhere.
it. And so the energy of it is sometimes it's easier to figure out what you don't want than to choose what you do want. So if they show you what you don't want, you can see what you do want through it.
Yeah, but that's hard sometimes when you're in it. It's
Of course
yeah,
it is. Who said it
yeah,
was fucking easy?
yeah, it is. It is.
Sorry. No, I'm sorry. If somebody told you this life was easy,
Yeah.
aw,
Yeah.
you can do it with more ease and grace.
Mm-hmm.
The struggling and the suffering is what we add.
Mm-hmm.
But we came to be challenged. The more challenged we are, the more amazing the success is.
But the problem is we get stuck. We get stuck in the challenge and the victimhood and the this happens to me and the we get stuck there as humans.
100%. And that's again why we need somebody to reach
Right.
in there and say, hey, wait, you're playing the victim. To be
Right.
honest, every time you say the word because, you're giving your power away.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. Okay.
Yeah. So every time you say that, this happened and I'm this way because, and it's not that shitty things don't happen to people. 100% they do. I'm not saying like if something happened to you when you're four, it's your fault. But what I'm saying is every time we give our responsibility to them, we can't heal it.
Right.
So just like you were saying that they came up to show you this so you could do that, that's now you taking radical responsibility of it. And now you can shift it.
Yeah.
And how do you spell Bruja?
B as in boy, R-U-J-A.
Hold on. I need you to do that again. So B-R,
You know, I'm a little bit everywhere. Now you have me translating spelling, right?
yeah, yeah. So B,
B-R-U-J-A.
okay. So we have woman in total control of herself, but we need to go into your original witch wording. And
Okay, now then do B-R-U-J-O-S because it's the
JOS.
plural of
Okay,
name.
so I like beautiful for B.
Okay.
So beautiful reality, you just awakened in your soul. Beautiful reality, you just awakened in your soul. That could be what a witch is.
Okay.
Because when we go energetics, you're right, these words stick. Because a spelling is spells,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we're bringing it back to this witchy woo thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we can unravel that word for you and make it
Mm-hmm.
mean something else, we could also collapse the charge
Right.
of
Right.
the. It's almost there's a shame in it. There's a fear in it. There's a terror in it. There's a power in it. You like the manipulation almost of it. So you kind of like the healthy fear of it too, right? But it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
really matter what the story is. So what we want to do is unravel it and then recreate whatever you want it to be in your life right now. Because I want you to own being a witch,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And what's fun, yes, yes. And what's funny is I did we'll just call it I did a meditation because I wasn't even meditating, it just happened.
Put
I
it
saw
together.
all of my ancestors, female. I
Yep.
saw all of my ancestors come and they did a circle around me one day, and they all said, this is who we are. This is what we are. Like, don't be scared of it. Some went astray, quote unquote, to the dark, like used it for other reasons. But they were like, but that's not the general. Like, and
And
my
also,
ancestors
can
were
we love them
literally
too?
like, huh?
Can we love them too? Can we love the dark side as much as the light? Because when we
Yeah.
love all of it, that's really what we can do.
And I think that's what this entity that came, it wasn't even an entity, it was literally like a group consciousness. I think that's what it wanted me to see, as in, don't be scared of me, don't hate me, don't nothing, like completely neutral, because I played the role that we agreed. And it did really subdue, is that a word? Like it subdued my oh, look what I'm seeing. Because usually I was
Yep.
like, oh God, again. Like it wouldn't even scare me, but I was like, you're annoying, leave. Like again, you should have
Mm.
like pew, gone away into the light. But right now it's just like, oh, thank you. You actually, we had agreed on this and I got it. Like
See,
I
that's what I think karma is. I think karma is playing all the roles. So
mm-hmm,
some of my lives I played dark. Some of my
mm-hmm,
lives I played light. I
mm-hmm,
took a lot of lives in previous lives, so I save a lot of lives in this life.
mm-hmm,
Right? It's the karmic balance. It's the
mm-hmm,
other side of the coin. So I think good and bad, light and dark, I think that's just a judgment. Now there are high vibration and low vibrations, and the lower vibration you are, the more you're going to attract low vibrations.
mm-hmm,
The higher vibration you are, the more you're going to attract high vibrations.
mm-hmm,
So those are the places we want to hang out in because they're way easier. But I think the experiences is what makes us the whole. If you just came and had all light, you wouldn't actually learn anything.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
That's why we become human. In spirit, everything is light and fluffy,
mm-hmm.
right? So we have to come here to see the contract.